My people, my people, my people. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you guys. Thank you for tapping in, man. Good to see you guys. We should have some guests tapping in here shortly. Um, definitely good to see you guys, man. Good to see you guys tapping in. A lot of things to go over really quickly. Final thoughts on this game. We're not gonna worry you long, but we definitely want to get you guys final thoughts and really see what you thought. How it's gonna go, how it's gonna be. I've been doing a lot of research, man, and really seeing what people are saying about the game. It's amazing when you see what some of these people are saying. Some of the Georgia fans are saying. Um, it's almost astronomically crazy. You know what I mean? It is what it is, though, man. You got to expect these kind of things when it's a big game. Fan bases are going to overshoot. Fan bases are going to be overconfident. Fan bases are going to say a lot of different things, and it's okay. It's okay, right? Um, but it's a game to be played. It's a game to be played, and at the end of the day, you're gonna have a winner and you're gonna have a loser, man. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat, man. Much love to you all. Please tap in and hit that like button for me if you guys will. Run these numbers up really quickly if we possibly can. Um, just want to get some final thoughts on this game, man, before it's time to go out and do what we need to do. Really want to talk about a few things that's um, truths, if you will, some harsh truths, and some true truths, if you will. You know what I mean? We don't never sugarcoat anything, man. We're gonna give it to you straight, never late. The truth will always be in the details, man, no matter how you want to sum it up. Um, and we want to talk about a few things, man. Been really doing some research on things Kirby has said. Kirby's a veteran in this thing. He's not gonna give out too much information. He's not gonna say too many things that's gonna tip the hand. You know what I mean? Shout out to Carla. What's up, Carla? You know what I mean? And but we really want to see what's going on, man. It to me, um, I really believe this game is gonna lie on Jalen Milroe. I really believe that. The offensive line has to play well to me in my mind. These guys really have to come to play. I really hope that we worked on tackling, physicality and tackling, because tackling will be at a premium, a big premium for this game. Um, you can't have a lot of arm missed tackles. You can't have a lot of tackling the wind, just driving your shoulder into the running back. You got to wrap up on these guys, man. You got to wrap up on these guys, man. This cannot be one of these games where we just throw the shoulder into the guy and hope he falls. This has got to be a game when you really play physical, wrap up these running backs, man, and really try to impose your will on these guys. Um, it's going to be very imperative that our defensive assignments are sound. Um, missing tackles and things of that nature, it will be detrimental. Detrimental. Shout out to my brother Bal. What's up, Bal? Roll Tide to you, man. Good to see you. You know what I mean? Let's see who all we got in here right quick, man. Much love to my brother Larry Large, Double L. What's up, Larry? How you doing, man? Good to see you, brother. Double L is in the house. Tough as Nails is in the house. What's up, Tough as Nails? How you doing, brother? Thank you for tapping in this morning and this evening, man. Cedric Chalmers. What's up, Cedric? How you doing, man? Dub C. What's up with your brother? Travel Panil always cracking up in here, man. My home team right there, man. What's up, Travel? How you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. As I said, the homegirl Carla's in here doing her thing. Love you right back, Carla. That's for sure. You know what I mean? Keith, what's up, bro? How you doing, Keith? Good to see you, bro. Roll Tide to you, man. Bob, what's up, Bob? Bob, man. Big Rutherford in the house. What's up, Bob? How you doing, man? Good to see you, man. My brother Bear. You know what I mean? The voice of Birmingham is right there, by way of LA. You know what I mean? Doing his thing, man. Shout out to Inslee. Shout out to my brother Bear doing his thing. Shout out to you, Bear. I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, man. We got to be gap sound on this one, brother. No shoulder into the running back and think he just gonna fall, man. That is not gonna work. Those boys over there at Georgia, they're trained to run through those kind of things. Shout out to Lynn Shannyfelt, man, former Bama, right there doing his thing. Lynn, successful young brother doing his thing. Shout out to my boy Lynn doing his thing. Lynn, good to see you, bro. Got a big one tomorrow, Lynn. We got a big one, bro. A lot on the line, believe it or not. You know, a lot of recruits are watching, man. They got a lot of people coming to this game. More recruits than I thought will be at this game. A lot of things going down tomorrow, man. And we really, really, really got to be on our P's and Q's tomorrow, man. Shout out to Lisa Fitzhugh, Lisa Rawls in the house. Always good to see Lisa, man. Love your vids, Lisa. I'm glad you're getting back out there and putting that content out there, and we support it. Go support Lisa Fitzhugh, man. Love Lisa, much love to you. Roll Tide to Lisa and her family for sure, for sure. Bama Gump, roll tide, brother. How you feeling? How you doing? Much love to everybody en route to Tuscaloosa. We will all be doing our thing. You know what I'm saying? PJ Stein is in the house. What's up, PJ? How you doing, man? Good to see you, bro. Good to see you, man. Good to see all of you, man. DeMarco's in the house. Shout out to my broski from another Moski, Coach freaking Smook, man. Listen, man. If it's an inside scoop, some that don't nobody know that everybody act like they know. You know who I call? Guess who I call? And I got friends down there in Tuscaloosa that I don't even call because I feel like I'm, you know how you feel like you're wearing them. You don't want to be one of them guys. You know who I call? I call Coach Smooky. Smooky. Shout out to my brother Coach Smook, man. Probably somewhere down there now. Probably somewhere down there now. Kicking it. You know what I mean? Shout out to Coach Smook, bro, and the CSN network, man. Much love to Triple Threat, Triple A doing their thing as usual. DeMarco, what's going on? Coach Smook, you got any inside scoops? You know, to hit me, bro. Hit me first, man. Hit me first. You know what I'm saying? I give you all the love. When you report it, I say Coach Smook told me. Shout out to my broski Smook, who always doing his thing, getting his feet wet down there and doing big things, man. Much love to you, bro, as always. DeMarco, what's the business, bro? We got to get ready to shut it down tomorrow, man. This is a big game for me, man, because I got a lot of friends from Georgia. I probably have more friends from Georgia than any other team that we play. Um, None of them played at Georgia, but a lot of friends from Fort Valley. My neighbor Chris played at Fort Valley. A lot of friends that's rooted in Georgia and got a lot of UGA love. Even though we all went to HBCUs and different schools, when you grow up in the state, you leech on to one or the other, man. You know what I mean? A lot of love for my boys in Georgia, man, and they pulling for Georgia. Bama Fanatic, what's going on, bro? Bama Fanatic says, Coach SPOJ, I think Georgia has a leadership issue in the locker room. If our DB is holding up, we blow them out. Woo. Bama Fanatic, man, that would be a wonderful thing. That would really make my night to put belt to ass and beat them handily. But in my heart, bro, I just don't see it, man. I just don't see it. Me personally, I don't even think we're going to go over 50 points, neither team. I'm talking about more like a 24-21, 24-20, 27-24s. If we do it, it'd be right at 50, right at 50, 51 points. I don't think neither team is going to score over 24, 27 points. I just do not see it, man. I hope we do, and we have the potential to, but man, I just don't see it, man. This defense is sound, bro. They sound. Um, and I just don't see it. I hope we do, man. I'm right there with you, brother. I'm praying we do, but I just don't see it, man. Just a few things, really. Shout out to Coach Al, my brother Coach Al, man. I did some, been listening to a lot of Georgia interviews and just trying to pick the brain of some Georgia people that I respect. And it's almost astronomical, man, when you think about the faith or lack thereof that these Georgia people have in Jalen Milroe. Shout out to Xavier Barker. What's up, Xavier? Good to see you, man. Shout out to Khalil Cooper. What's up with you, KC? How you doing, bro? Good to see you, man. Roll tide to you all. Um, I seen a former player, Bellamy. He was talking about how Dalvin was talking about how they don't think Milroe can extend. Well, let me take that back. They don't think Milroe can put together those 10 to 12 play long drives. Let's just say they take Ryan Williams out of it, right? They don't think Milroe can see the field well enough to put together those 10 to 12 play drives that you may need to eat up the clock. They think it's either take a shot or take off running with him, right? Um, And I understand, how one could see that, right? Um, and I think they'll play us as such. I think they'll play us as such, man. I really do believe these guys will play us as such. But it's several things. I went back and watched the Wisconsin game in length, and really picked up a lot of things that I think will be um, prevalent to us going forward against these guys. Because remember this, guys. Shout out to Jag. What's up, Jag? Good to see you, Jag. Good to see you. Good to see you so very much. Good evening, Coach Sean. How are you? The game is finally here, and T-Town is jumping. Roll Tide and Bama got this. All facts, Jag. All facts. A lot of things going on in T-Town. I sent my partner. She down here. I sent her an itinerary of something they sent me of several different things going on around town. So just be safe, man. We all gonna try to make our way and do our thing. Just be safe down there. You know what I'm saying? God probably gonna bless us with a little wind, little wet residue. But all in all, it should be pretty decent weather. Should be pretty decent weather for a football game. And I'm ready for it, man. But listen, remember this, man, when you really watch Georgia, right? When you talk about coordinators, and I'm talking about Nick Sheridan, from everybody to Nick Sheridan to Mike Bobo, especially when you're talking about offensive coordinators, when you're talking about coordinators, man, coordinators attack concepts. Now I get it. Every once in a while, we'll see a weak link, a corner that may not want to tackle on film, a corner that it's not really fluid in his back pedal. He's aggressive, but he don't cover very well. Yes, we will attack that player, a linebacker that might not feel like he should. We will run plays to try to exploit those weaknesses, right? But all in all, game to game, throughout the course of a game, coordinators attack concepts, right? If you show me something, I'm going to try to do something to counter that, and vice versa. Um, so a lot of times I noticed when I went back and watched the film, and I like to watch film without the sound. You know what I mean? If I don't have the all 22, I watch the game. With DVR, I just cut the sound down and watch a play, rewind it. Sort of the same style, not really the same, but sort of the same. Obviously, I noticed that we ran a lot of what we call naked tight end. What I mean by that is some people call it naked tight end, some people call it tunnel, some people call it nub. Everybody got their own different terminologies for this. What I mean by naked tight end is we ran a lot of bunch, three receiver sets, a lot of trips, if you will, with the tight end on the opposite side by himself, naked, if we call that. Lots of trips to the field, lots of trips to the boundary, with the tight end being naked on the other side. What that does, we talked about that this morning. It brings your cornerback up closer to the line of scrimmage and forces your corner to play in run support, right? In my mind, that forces your corner or whoever you have out there on that edge. It forces them to play heavy in run support, right? Now, Wisconsin, fortunately, those cornerbacks, the one that they had on that naked side, wasn't very aggressive in the run game, right? I noticed that Wisconsin played a lot of cover three, and it's very, very ways to attack that cover three. You know what I mean? Um, Obviously, the seams, you can attack the seams and you can attack the flats in that coverage. Um, I do believe Georgia will try to spy Jalen Milroe. I do believe they're going to try to keep him in the pocket and try to stop him from extending the plays. I think they're going to try to do the same thing they did last year because they had some success doing that. But I think Jalen see the field a little better now. I think this offense extenuates weaknesses better than the offense we had last year. And I think that could be a plus in our category if they play him like that. I do think if they commit resources to stopping Jalen and to spying Jalen, I do think that will open a lot of things for us in our underneath route, our underneath game. I really, really do. Shout out to my brother Bear, man. Always supported, man. Shout out to Bear, man. Bear with the $20 super chat. Bear says, I think Coach KD already knows that Georgia would try to key on Hollywood. I think that's what he wants them to do. Watch KD's game plan. K Law, E Man, and the tight ends. Ballers gonna ball. Roll Tide. I can't say it better, Bear. I couldn't even say it better if I wanted to, man. You know what I'm saying? That's 100% facts. I'm pretty sure they're aware of Ryan Williams has been our biggest weapon so far in the pass game. Um, and Kirby Smart is just like Nick Saban. They want to take away what you've done well. They want to take away what you one of your weapons, if you will. They want to beat you with things that you do well. Thank you, Bear. You know, I appreciate you and love you to death, brother. Thank you so very much for that $20 super chat, and you were 100% facts on that. So they'll probably try to do some things underneath to Ryan. You know what I mean? They'll probably try to roll coverage every once in a while. It's not Georgia's game to do that a lot, you know, within the game. But I do think um, there'll be instances where they will try to key on Ryan and try to make Jalen find another outlet, you know, if you will. Um, you know, the thing about it is, man, Jalen does a few things exceptionally well. Throwing to the running backs out the backfield. He puts the ball on the running back's upfield shoulder a lot, right? You know, that's what you have to do as a quarterback when you're getting the ball out quick, man. When you're getting the ball out quick, those are things he does well. He do well. He really, really does those things well. He's comfortable in those things. Um, I really do believe, though, we need to see other receivers step up in this game. I love Ryan, and I'm pretty sure Ryan's gonna get his, but I really, really, really want to extenuate the other guys and make this offense really a threat from anywhere. You understand what I'm saying? And I think this is the game to do it. I think this is the game to do it, man. Lynn says, I think this game comes down to Bama's toughness. I'm not sure we are as tough as we've been in the past with Saban. That's only because I watch our practices and it's so different. It's a lot of rah rah. Hey, I will find out, Lynn. Right, brother? We'll see that Saturday because Georgia's going to play downhill. They're going to attack us on the perimeter. These guys going to do what they do. You know, they'll have a couple of wrinkles and things of that nature, but Georgia will do what they do. What's up, Adam? Roll Tide to you, Adam. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you, LaQuasia. What's up, Quay? How you doing? Good to see you in here. Appreciate you, Quay, for sure, for sure. Eric, what's up with you, brother? Roll Tide to you, man. Much love. So it's a chess game within a chess game for me, man. Like I said, remember, coordinators attack concepts, man. Right? We understand attacking weak individuals when you find a weakness on the offense or a defense, but coordinators attack concepts, right? And the concept that Coach DeBoer runs will attack your safeties, they'll attack your edges, they'll make you defend the entire football field, right? I think we'll use Jalen Milrow as a weapon in times and down in distance. You know, I really do believe there's several things that Coach DeBoer and his staff have been saving, right? Not necessarily plays, which I'm sure there are some, but I mean schematics. I mean scheme wise, a lot of different formation wise, a lot of different pre-snap motion wise, a lot of different looks. Give Georgia a lot of different looks because Georgia is very, very aggressive in their front seven. They'll play a similar scheme in down and distance to what Wisconsin did on down and distance, but Georgia won't have cornerbacks defending that in the box. Georgia will probably have linebackers, guys that are big and can run. Um, so it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting, man. You know, if I had to give a concern, when I went back and watched that game, and I made sure I wrote down where it was at. If you go back and watch the full game, you have to type in the full game, not the highlights. It's the second quarter, 14-20 left in the second quarter. It was 2nd and 9. If you go back and watch the Wisconsin game, it was in the second quarter with 14 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock in the second quarter. It was 2nd down and 9. We had a tight end. It seemed like they tried to run like a smash route, a bunch of flooding to one side. The tight end was naked, you know, again on a side by himself. Trip sets to the weak side of the field, you know, to the boundary. Excuse me, to the wide side of the field, to the field. Tight end releases on a deep corner, 12 to 15 yards, corner route. Running back, who at that time I think it was Jam, if I'm not mistaken, ran what we call an arrow or you know, an arrow route. We call it a speed out. Some people call it a speed out. We call it an arrow. Um, and you also had a receiver within the trips to release across the formation on a drag. Now, his first read was that tight end. You know, you read from high to low, from top to bottom. You know what I mean? In this situation with trips, tight end released, ran a corner route. Deep, the defender fell down. Tight end was by himself. Um, his second read, which was probably the running back out of the backfield on that smash route, arrow as we call it. And then that third was probably the drag coming across the formation. So, and we didn't hit either one. It's like we got a little bit of pressure, but Jalen had plenty of time and he threw the ball. And it's just like we threw it into air or space. I don't know who we was throwing it to, but here's what's bad about that. All three routes were open. The drag came across, the defender bumped into somebody. Whatever receiver that was, I couldn't tell his number. It said 14-20 in the second quarter against Wisconsin. The receiver come across formation. He was open, wide open. The running back coming out of the backfield on the speed out or arrow, as we call it, open, right? The tight end releases on the corner route, 12 to 15 yards down the field. The defender falls down. All three guys were open. The drag route, which probably would have been his third read, I thought we was going to hit that, but we were a little late on it, right? And we just, I don't know if we threw the ball in the dirt or threw it in the air. I'm not sure what we were doing, but it concerned me, right? Shout out to my girl Ebony. You know what I mean? Real soon, Ebony. Time is ticking. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my homegirl down there doing her thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Be safe for a few minutes. You know what I'm saying? Much love to you, Ebony. Love you to death, sweetie. For sure. Shout out to the young baller himself, Noah Carter. That's for sure. Um, so I do have a concern with that, man. I do have a concern with that. That sometime when we get a little bit of pressure, we panic a little bit and we instead of really climbing the pocket, throwing the ball where it needs to go. Um, there are times when we have receivers that are open that we just don't hit them. You know what I mean? We just don't, extenuate them. We don't use our full potential um, in some of these plays. So I understand why the Georgia former players were saying what they were saying. Some of it was true. It's not a bad thing, but I really think, and I do think Jalen's getting better. I do think Jalen's getting better with that. I think that he's learning how to go from one to two, two to check down, whatever his progression is. I see the progression in him from last season. Um, but you know how it is. You know how it is when you're athletic, man. The first thing you want to do when something don't seem right is get up out of there. You want to get the pewing on. You want to run, right? Um, I do think they talked to him and try to tell him, be patient. Be patient because there are receivers open. Unlike last year, there are receivers open, man. There really are. Shout out to Nicole. What's up, Nicole? Good to see you, girl. Thank you for coming. I appreciate that, man. Bama Talk with John. Got you covered, John. No problem. I figured it was like that when I didn't see you. No problem, John. I appreciate you, bro. And I thank you more than you'll ever know. Um, yeah, Ebony, for sure, man. Noah, what's up with your roll tide roll? Mimi, what's up, girl? How you doing? Iconic Cypress 93, what's up, girl? How you doing? How you feeling? Boy, coach, I think we're going to get beat or beat them. We're going to beat by 15 to 21 just because this offense is just explosive. Kirby Blitz Monroe going to make them play. I hope you're right. Iconic, I hope you're right. If we win this game, I think we will, but I don't think it's going to be by that much. I really don't. Um, I think it's going to be a much closer game than that. I think it's going to be a 24-21, 24-27. I think it's going to be just like it usually is. I really, really do. I'll be tickled to death if we go in there and put belt to ass like that. I would love it. I would love it, right? But man, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I don't see the over going over 50, 51 points. I do not see it. Us scoring, I just don't see it, bro. Not against this defense. I think points are going to be at a premium. I think third down is going to be at a premium. I just need to see it. I'm not saying we can't. Please believe me. I'm very positive we can, but I just don't see it against this team, man. Week off, both teams are going to be rested, well rested, and we'll see. We'll see. Um, Lisa, shout out to Lisa, man. $10 super chat. Lisa says, "Lank and belt to ass, administered from Tuscaloosa to Athens and around the college football world tomorrow with belt in Coach DeBoer's hands. Roll Tide, roll facts." Lisa, thank you so very much for that $10 super chat. I appreciate you. You know my affinity for you. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you, and that is 100% facts. 100% facts, Lisa. Thank you again, sweetie. Veronica L. They better hope Beck can go through his progressions. Well, here's the thing. I was going to get to that, Veronica, and that's a good segue into Carson Beck. Listen, Carson Beck, if you give this young man time, will kill us. Don't make no mistake about it, man. If you get a kid time and you don't put no pressure on the kid can make it hard for us. We have some young DBs back there, man. And you know, and let's just be honest, man. Let's be honest. Let's call it for what it is. No crimson glasses allowed. There were receivers in South Florida running open. Go back and watch the South Florida game. Man, you know, we got beat several times in that game. The quarterback just wasn't able to get them the ball for whatever reason, under duress, wasn't accurate enough, whatever reason you want to say. There were wide receivers in that game that were open. Make no mistake about it. Go back and watch the Wisconsin game. We had about two plays where they had, I'm not sure if it was a mesh route, a drag route, something coming across the middle. Dude was wide open, bro, like two times, wide open. So we have not played a quarterback yet that can extenuate our misconceptions and mistakes on the back end. This guy will. If we don't get any pressure on him, he's going to hit those open receivers. We'll put our young defensive backs in a bad situation. Now, here's the good thing. I think our pressure package is better than Kentucky's. I think our pressure package is better than Clemson's. I just do. Taking none from Clemson because Clemson got a great defense. They got a good defense, man. But I do think our defense schematics and division coverage is better. I think we play better against teams like this. That's not going to spread you out 1,000 times and really try to keep things within the due bounds of 1990s football esque, right? So I really do believe it. I think this game sets up well for Alabama. Now I'll say again, this is the best quarterback we've played to date this season, right? And I do believe you have to get Carson Beck off his square. If you get him off his square and get his feet moving, not necessarily blitz him to death, but get him off his square, get him to moving sideline, side to side. That is when he makes mistakes. That is when he's not as effective as he is when you can let him sit back there. What's up with you, Shanice? How you doing, girl? What's up, Miss Covington? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tapping in. I appreciate you for sure, man. Always, Adam. You already know, bro. Um, so it's gonna be good, man. And Paul T said it right here, man. I mean, say what you want, but Georgia has not allowed a touchdown this season so far. I mean, that's saying something, bro. You got to give credit where credit's due, guys. You got to give credit where credit's due. These guys are going to be the best defense we played. Um, you know, we got to play well this game, man. We got to play well this game, but so does Georgia. I think Georgia has to play well. Georgia has played a little bit better competition than we have, to be quite honest, on the road at Kentucky, who always played Georgia tough, and playing Clemson in the first game is probably a little bit better competition than what we faced. But I feel really good in the schematics of how we playing right now. I really do, man. I feel good about how Jalen Milroe's playing right now. It doesn't seem to be any panic in Jalen Milroe right now. And I think this is the game. This is his coming out party to me. This is the game where you show the world that this is not Jalen from last year. This is not. This is not Jalen from last year. I think they've really had the cuffs on Jalen this year. A couple of quarterback sneaks. We'll play action your death, throw it deep here or there. Nah, let's open that thing up. Let's get these tight ends involved, right? Like Bear said. Um, so I think this is the game Jalen will step out. My boy John from Bama Talk saw the arrival of Georgia players and they looked like a typical Kirby team, locked in, getting hyped in the hotel. Yeah, I mean, let's make no mistake about it, man. We're fans of University of Alabama, but in this channel we tell the truth. Georgia's not no pushover, bro. You know, I, let's be real. Let's this will be the toughest team we played this season by far. Like, not even close. Western Kentucky, South Florida, and Wisconsin. Man, listen, Wisconsin is a team that's in transition from power football to an air raid. They're an air raid team without a damn air raid. They don't have good quarterback play. They don't have the wide receivers to make that thing work. They're schematically as effed up as you possibly can be as far as Big Ten football goes. So, you know, a win is a win, brother. But let's be real. Georgia will be the best team we play. Now, on the flip side of that, nobody will challenge Georgia's defense and extend them and make them defend the entire field the way Alabama's about to do Saturday night. And they know that. Cade Klubnik is not Jalen Milroe, right? Um, what's the former quarterback that was at Georgia, now he's at Kentucky? Block Vander Griff is not Jalen Milroe, even though y'all made him look like that a little while, right? So let's be real. This will be a test for both teams without a shadow of a doubt. And it's just great that we get a chance to take part in it. Shout out to my brother Buck. Buck with the $5. Good to see you too, Buck, man. Good to see you, bro. Buck with the $5 super chat says, I think it comes down to the old saying, run the ball, stop the run. Buck, I couldn't have said it no better. Run the damn ball, stop the run on the other side, man. All facts. You do that, you give your team the best opportunity to be successful on third down and throughout the game, man. Shout out to my brother Buck, man. Appreciate you for the $5 super chat, Buck. Always love, bro. Always, man. Adam says I watched tapes of Noah Carter. He's a stud. Yeah, Noah gonna be a monster, man. Be patient, Noah. Be patient because your time is coming. That young man gonna be a monster. He already a monster. He already a monster. That kid gonna get his chance, just like Quay did. You know, it's coming. Them young boys gonna eat. Shout out to Goof. What's up, Goof? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. You know what I'm saying? Lynn says you have to move Carson off his spot. Facts. That's what I was saying. You got to move Carson off of that square, man. You got to move Carson off of that square, and that's when he's not as effective. We did a great job of that last year, getting pressure on him, getting his eyes on the rush instead of downfield. That's one thing about Carson Beck. If you get the rushing him, he will put his eyes on the rushers, not downfield, right? And I think that'll be the game plan. I think that'll be the game plan. Got us a great guest about to pop up, man. My broski from another Moski as well is backstage. Let me bring him on. Boom. Shout out to the man himself, Ty Hayes. Ty, what's going on with you, brother? How you feeling? How you doing?
Oh, I had to pop up in the old jersey.
Oh, you got the jersey cracking? Okay. It's that time. It's
That's
that
that
time.
time.
Shout out to Ty Hayes, man. We got 116 people on YouTube and Twitter combined. Thank you guys for tapping in as always. So, Ty, shout out to Coach Al, too. Facts, Coach Sean. To this day, though, we have one of the lowest percentages of five-man press. That's a fact. That's what I was speaking to. Shout out to Coach Al. Shout out to Coach Al. Love getting Coach Al up here. Coach Al, we're going to get you on the show, bro. We're going to get you on the show. My man, Bear. Another super chat. Bear with the $20 super chat says, facts. But Beck Beck cookie crumbles under the ski of pressure. Facts. I watched the film on Kentucky versus Georgia. Every time you get some heat on Beck, he gets happy feet and it's sporadic and not in time. Yeah, his accuracy suffers. That's a whole fact, Bear. That's me and Lynn said the same thing. You got to get him off that square. You know what I mean? You get that man off his square, and it's not necessarily by sacking him every time. Just get some constant pressure. Quindarius Robinson calling on you for tomorrow, brother. Calling on you, Quindarius. Q Rob, it's your time tomorrow. Eat. Thank you
Ooh,
to my
that's the
brother
one.
Bear. Exactly, man. My brother Bear for the $20 super chat. Thank you, Bear. We appreciate you and love you to death, man. So, Ty, let me get you on this, man. Seen a lot of things coming out of Georgia about Jalen. They don't believe Jalen can extend the 10 to 12 play drives. They feel like it's either all is or all ain't with him. He'll either take the shot or take off running. What do you say to that, man? They feel like if they can get us in 3rd and 7, they got us, right? Spy him, get him in 3rd and 7, we'll beat Alabama. That's what they feel. I want to know your thoughts on that, and how do you feel about that as far as Jalen Milroe is concerned?
Yeah, 100%. First off, as always, thanks for having me on. Thank you, everybody, for being in here. You know what I'm about to say. Two most valuable things you have in life is time and health, and you're choosing to spend your time with us this
Yes,
evening, and that
sir.
truly means the world. LaQuacia, Cedric, Nicole, happy you're in here. Bama Talk. Yeah, I put the hat back on. I didn't have the other day I had my hair done, Coach, and I did my
Oh,
first
did you?
stream without a hat.
Yeah.
And so it's thrown people off, but the hat's back on, right? The jersey, you can see some of the chest tattoos. That's neither here nor there. Shanisa, thank you for being in here. Run the table as always. Adam, happy to see you. Lynn, Hope you enjoyed your vacation, got home
Mm,
safe, and enjoyed your time out there, man. That was really awesome to see. Looked like you were in some great places. Todd,
yes.
happy to see you. But coach, I'm listen. I'm not even gonna lie. I always, whenever I construct analysis, and you and I have talked about this off air, but I don't know if I've ever said it on. Whenever I construct analysis, one of the things I'm thinking of is like, okay, if this is the argument that I'm going to use, how would I take this argument down? Like if I was on the other side.
Yeah.
Larry, happy to see you. And I don't necessarily think, because from my point of view, that argument is less an indictment on Jalen and more like, hey, Alabama's still figuring their offense out. They're still in the rollout phase. DeBoer and company haven't been here a year. So they're still figuring it out. But here's what I would say. Auburn felt real good about getting Arkansas into 3rd and 7. And then guess what happened, coach? You can't account for Green's legs.
It's a fact.
That's a whole X factor.
The whole
If
X
it,
factor. Yeah.
In fact, if we go back last year, it's not that Jalen had an eye-popping game numbers-wise. They were good, but
Yes.
they weren't like, for instance, Bryce Young in the SEC championship game cooked Georgia for like 421 yards.
That's a fact.
It wasn't that. What it was is they would get Bama into a 3rd and 7, and next thing you know, there he goes. And it's first down again. Now, one thing I've seen is when they have dialed up the intermediate play calling this year, it's been there and they've been able to execute it. I.e., Western Kentucky, there was that beautiful concept where they got the ball to Caleb Odom, like a 10-yard gain. The touchdown pass to Kobe Prentice and touchdown pass to Kendrick Law, both short to intermediate concepts. Jalen utilized his legs as an extension of the passing game. And that's something we didn't see from Jalen last year, right? Like Bryce, to me, coach, was the king at this. Where Bryce is a mobile quarterback, not near to the degree of Jalen, but he's shifty out there. But Bryce, better than most quarterbacks I've ever seen, used his legs as an extension of the passing game, where he would be moving the pocket, and if he got one guy out of position, he'd make him pay. We've actually seen Jalen do that this year. And that, to me, could be a major difference in the Jalen Milroe we saw as opposed from last year to this year. Listen, he's still developing in his intermediate passing game, but I have seen passes this year that make me more comfortable with those concepts. So while I'm not mad if that's like a Georgia fan's analysis, that's probably be something that I would use, right? Like being like, oh, well,
Thanks.
mine wouldn't even be on Jalen Milroe. It would be more on like, oh, their offense is feast or famine. It's the ability of the offense. Like, what are we dialing up play calling wise? And I think whenever this staff is in their bag, they can generate extended drives. But also, and I'm interested in your take on this staff operates a bit more like Steve Sarkisian. Steve
Yeah.
Sarkisian has that quote where he's like, why would I score in 13 plays when 4 suffices? Like 13 plays is just more opportunity to turn the ball over, get a bad penalty, have a negative play. Why would I want to do in 13 plays what I can do in 4? And that's his philosophy to offense. That's a little bit more how this staff thinks. Why would I want to take 14 plays to score when I could score in 5 or 6? That's less opportunity for turnovers, less opportunities for penalties. So look, that is the key to this game. If Alabama can get that intermediate passing game going, oh boy, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
A lot of fun to watch, man. And what's crazy is, I just can't wait, man, because it's a lot of things I want to see. Shout out to King Family Reacts. Shout out to Boomer 129. Shout out to everybody here. Shout out to my broski, man. Hadn't seen Juvie in a long time. Shout out to Juvie, man. Good to see you, Juvie, man. Really, really, really happy to see you up in here, Juvie, man. Roll Tide to you, brother. Good to see Juvie 86 back up in here, man. It's my broski for sure. Say Coach Carl was in here, man. Where Coach Carl at? Coach Carl is actually coaching a game right now. That's why he wasn't able to really tap in for sure. He's actually in the heat of battle, so he was going to tap in and show love and just let everybody know he was thinking about you. And tap in with Coach Carl, man, on the block sports talk. Very, very important. Very, very, very informative podcast, and really got some of the best videos I've seen live from the game. especially when they was doing the Saban appreciation. He got a lot of good videos on there, man. Tap in with him and check it out for sure, for sure. So check this out, Ty. So I was talking to the people and I was letting them understand that when I went back and watched a lot of the Wisconsin game, I went back and I watched a lot of the game and found a lot of different superlatives that I talked about earlier. And I was talking about how, the same thing we talked about earlier when I was telling you that coordinators attack concepts. And something else that really popped off the screen to me when I watched these guys, Robbie Oots, man. Robbie Oots may be outside of Tyler Booker and Jaden Roberts. Robbie Oots may be the best blocker on the team. This dude
He's
be
got a
pancaking people.
he's a dog.
You watch, Robbie Oots is gonna get drafted. I'm telling you, somebody gonna pick that kid up just because of his sheer versatility. This kid can catch, he can block, he can come out of the backfield, he can line up on inline tight end, he can split him out. Um, I watched these guys and they did a lot of combo blocks with the tight end and the tackle, getting up on the cornerback. Now the cornerback is down in the box on the naked side of the field, the tight end being naked, meaning no receivers on that side. I don't think Georgia will have a cornerback in that situation. I think they'll put a bigger safety or somebody like that. Yeah, I don't think Georgia will be caught out there like that, man. I think the tight ends need to be really, really, really involved in this. I think our tight ends do a good job of blocking, of turning to the defender. Robbie Oots, man, I got to give him his credit and his love. That kid is tough. Um, I hope we feature him a little more. I want to get your ideas on this, man. Remember, space, anytime you can create space, and Coach Al, Coach Carr, these guys can speak to this, Coach Smoot. Space helps the quarterback. The more space you can create, the easier the reads are, the easier it is for the quarterback to work in space. The less clutter, the better for the quarterback. Do you think that helps Carson Beck? Do you think the more they spread us out, because Georgia will try to spread us out and run the ball on the perimeter, they don't really function out of the four receiver set out of the spread. They don't function out of that, but they will show you that look and run downhill at you and attack us on the perimeter. Do you think that's an advantage for Georgia and a disadvantage for us, or do you think that bodes well for us on our defense?
Honestly, I think it bodes well. One of the and listen, it definitely could be something that could hurt Alabama. But the reason why I think it bodes well is we talked about this earlier on my show, where I think that in this game, they're going to do some rolling of the safeties. I think that one of the ways we've been beaten deep is through the slot corner. Right. So
Right.
I would expect to see them try and get Dominic Lovett or Arian Smith on the slot corner, whether that's through motion or whether that's through design, and have him be the one that's operating on those younger defensive backs.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, I would keep Sab over top, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel, and it's not to say I don't feel good about Malachi helping, but Malachi's been good in run support, right? Like, he's a dog. He wants to come up. He wants to hit people. So does Sab, but Sab's coverage ability is unbelievable. I think there was a Pro Football Focus post that they said that he is allowed a 7.2 QBR when he's the one being targeted. So the reason I bring that to you, Coach, is I feel better about Alabama's secondary in this matchup than I do about Alabama stopping the run.
Yeah.
For me, and this isn't to say Georgia doesn't have talented pieces at the outside. I've been in, one of these people all season and off season. You and I have talked about this. I don't think that they're as devout of talent at wide receiver as a lot of people do. I just don't think that that's the offense they run. Right. I think it's not that they don't have talented pieces there. I just don't think that they showcase them in that manner. And because of that, I feel better about having a safety more in the box and letting your corners work more one-on-one against a Georgia than doing too high safety looks. Now, we know that's not what Womack does most of the time. Even if you see a too high safety look, chances are it's eye candy. That's not going to be what the play actually is. One of those safeties is going to scream down. For me, it's about stopping the run off the exterior. And if you want to spread us out, that does help the run. But I feel better about having that safety in the box against Georgia than I do, say, a team that runs like a veer and shoot, right? Like a Tennessee, for instance.
Yeah.
You go safety in the box against Tennessee, and that's a team where they show, hey, we're willing to go over top,
Yep.
and we will do it all night long. That's not that Georgia can't do it, but that's just kind of not their MO. Styles make fights. And
Right.
in this fight, I feel better about having a safety in the box than I'm worried about like them spreading the secondary out and then attacking the secondary, if that makes sense.
Facts. Facts. And I'll say this, man. Lynn said it earlier. Um, Lynn said this game will come down to the trenches like it always does in the past. We have whipped UG up front. I'm worried about how I seen a couple of games we get rushed on. Yeah, we get the ball ran on us on. Coach Sean, you know I'm not a fan of the 4-2-5. And I'll sympathize with Lynn on this. Me and Jake used to go back and forth on this, and Jake makes me feel a lot better about it. I was a gap scheme man. I like the gap scheme against teams like Georgia. Now I do like the 4-2-5 against teams like Tennessee. But that gap scheme to me works against Georgia. And I know we play a lot of nickel last year, but the gap scheme to me, man, having these big burly defensive tackles, cover up those gaps and man, two gapping. I used to like that against teams like Georgia. But here's the thing. Um, with this 4-2-5, man, you got to have some defensive backs that don't mind tackling. That's what makes me nervous. It makes me nervous, bro, because you know, having that rover right there, a la linebacker, you got to have a dude that don't mind sticking his face and they're getting dirty, right? And it seemed like we a little, now Red will hurt himself trying to hurt you. Red will try to knock your block off and hurt himself trying to hurt you.
Yeah, they said the same thing about Sab too, that he just
Yeah,
crashes out like he
they
has no regard.
no regard, right? But we need somebody that's just gonna consistently make the tackle. I'm not worried about you knocking him out. Just consistently make the tackle, wrap him up and make the tackle. That's the only part of this type of defense that I always have reservations about. Teams like Georgia that's going to attack you on the perimeter, that's going to constantly run the ball, that's going to constantly make your rovers and guys of that, your overhangs, really attack. We're going to see if they want to tackle. So I have my reservations about that, man. But I do like the way we're playing with division coverage. I do understand that. I really enjoy it. Um, I want to know your thoughts on this, Ty. I want to know, do you think we're going to be able to run the ball on Georgia consistently?
Yes. Yes, I do. And here's the interesting thing, right? I'm unfolding a note that I had from one of the breakdowns I did. If we look at advanced metrics, right? Because looking at run defense, that's all well and good, but like advanced metrics that take into account successful plays and expected successful plays, Bama's rush EPA defense is 7th, Georgia's is 11th.
Yeah.
So this Georgia team, even though they're not running the same defense Alabama is, they are also not as strong in the run as Georgia teams of the past have been. In fact, that's the one area when we look, if you're asking, hey, what's the weakness of both defenses? Right now, it's stopping the run for both of them.
Yes.
So the reason why I think Alabama will be able to run against Georgia, one, the pin and pull. I think that getting those guys out in space and then having a Jam Miller, a Justice Haynes, and even designed runs through Jalen Milrow, you'll find success there. Two, you look at Jam Miller, he's averaging 9.1 per carry. Justice Haynes is averaging 8.7 per carry. Bama's running backs this year have been doing a lot of good work. So I don't doubt Alabama's ability to be able to run on Georgia. Now, you want to know the flip side of this, Coach? The part that I know some people aren't going to like. I don't doubt Georgia's ability to run on Alabama this year.
It's a fact. That's a fact, man. That's a fact.
Both defenses have shown that's the way you attack, is run on them. And then whichever defense best stops the run, in my opinion, is the defense and the team that wins this game.
Ooh, that's my thunder right there. First of all, shout out to KT, man. Shout out to KT. I ain't seen her in so long. Much love, KT. Good to see you, man. So good to see you. Thank you for tapping in. Really, really, really appreciate you more than you know, for sure. Be safe out there tonight, man. Um, that's my sentiments exactly. This could go both ways. Shout out to OG Ephraim. Much love to you, OG. Good to see you, bro. it could go either way, man. Alan Berry. Shout out to Alan Berry for the fight. I'll be behind on the comments, Alan. My bad. I'll be trying to grab him from the top. Shout out to Alan Berry with the $5 super chat. Alan says, maybe I'm overconfident, but I think Alabama has the advantage on both sides of the ball. I mean, you might be right, Alan. I, I just don't know yet. I don't know. We'll find out tomorrow, though, right?
If
We'll
we
find
look
out
at
soon enough.
straight scoring defense rankings, just like
Yeah.
simplistic rankings, here's something interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia has the third ranked scoring defense in college football right now. Bama has the 6th ranked scoring defense. So both doing very well. But then we get into offense. Georgia has the 58th scoring offense in the nation. Bama has 6th. So that's where the major disparity lies, is that Bama's offense has been able to be explosive. And like I said, I'm not saying that I don't think Georgia's can. We just haven't seen it yet.
Man, listen, thank you, Alan. Thank you for the $5 super chat, brother. Thank you so very much. We appreciate you. All love to Alan Berry. Let me say this, man. Georgia for me, man. Remember, these guys, this is one of the few teams, man, that will go odd and even front. They'll run a 5-man pressure. They'll run a 5-man pressure, man. Georgia's going to try to bring the house at times. They do it on down and distance, though. It's not their bread and butter. They pick and choose when they do it 3rd and 7, they coming. You know, God forbid it's more than 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 6, they coming. They pick and choose where they bring pressures, that A-gap pressure package they run. I seen against Kentucky, I think it was, where they had a defensive end playing the 4-eye. I think he was on the outside playing the 4-eye. And they had a nose playing the zero technique. The defensive end and the nose X block. It's actually an offensive line term called X blocking, where one guy blocks down, other guy blocks behind him. It's like an X. I'll pick up your man, you pick up mine. You know what I mean? They did that on the defensive side of the ball. It's like a stunt. It's a D line stunt, is what they call it. These guys will run stunts just only with the D line, not the linebackers. They'll run a stunt with the D line. The 4-eye guy will smash down inside, and the guy that's on the zero will go outside. And that creates major problems for both of your A gaps. You know what I mean? It creates major problems, man. So that is the thing. Michigan did a bit of that to us. Michigan did that to us a lot. So that'll be something that we really, really, really have to pick up. The offensive line is going to have to be spectacular. And I'll say this, Ty. I noticed the few times when Georgia's in cover 3, the cornerback bails a lot. He bails a lot, right? He'll go. So that's going to put him in a precarious situation whenever we run our arrow. Arrow is a speed out from the running back coming out of the backfield. Do you pick up the running back or do you go with the tight end when you bail it? Do you bail or do you pick up the running back underneath? Somebody's going to be open, guys. Georgia's defense is aggressive, yes, but they present opportunities for us to get yardage downfield. They do. So it's going to be a chess match, man. It's going to be one hell of a chess match. I want to get your thoughts on this, though, Ty. Nobody's really talking about this, but I want to get your thoughts on this. I've heard is less talk about our offensive line in the last 2 weeks than I've had all season. And that's a good thing. When we're not talking about the offensive line, damn it, they must be playing well. How do you think our offensive line at full capacity, from Caden, left tackle, all the way down to right tackle, Elijah, how do you think we do? Just like Lynn said, the trenches will be key. How do you think our offensive line do against that Georgia defensive front?
I think they'll hold up decently well. And Lynn, you are right. Like Georgia, Clemson is the best opponent that either team would have played. Yeah. Right? Kentucky, schematically, listen, I'm very much one of those people. Styles make fights. And Kentucky always plays Georgia very tough, but Kentucky's offense is awful to watch. Like, you watch the all-22 of that, and it is sickening to watch. The play calling, the ineptitude at the quarterback position. It's not good. But for whatever reason, like, I don't hold that against Georgia because they always get up for the Georgia game and play them so close. So that, like, but you're not wrong. You are right, Lynn. Like, that Georgia has played better talent, but at the same time, that offense is still, it's even accounting for the better talent. I don't think that it's as explosive as Alabama's. In terms of the offensive line, Coach Sean, here's something interesting. Bama has 7 sacks on the year. Georgia only has 8.
Right.
And so these defensive fronts are very analogous in terms of pressure rates, in
Right.
terms of sack distributions, all of that. I think Bama's offensive line is better this year than it was last year.
Right.
And
Of course.
I think that this is going to be the matchup, right? I'm very interested into how they attack both tackles. Because when I look at the interior 3, I think between Parker, Booker, and Roberts, those 3 right there are dogs. And I'm not saying that Pritchett and Booker, Roberts, and Brailsford, they're dogs. I think Caden Proctor and Elijah Pritchett are as well. But Proctor had a shaky year last year. He was actually the highest graded offensive lineman Alabama had against Wisconsin. And Pritchett has had a shaky year as well in terms of we've seen him play very well, and we've seen him leave something to be desired. So I think the tackle position is where I'm most interested in. How are they going to send that pressure? But also, like you said, you also have Oots, who's going to help one of those tackles, I think, in a lot of situations. And one of the things we saw against Wisconsin that I'm wondering how much we see in this game is 12 personnel, right? Like we had that beautiful touchdown against Wisconsin where they schemed up 12 personnel, where I think it was Dipri took the safety and Cuevas went right down the seam and boom.
Yep.
Beautiful throw, beautiful design. But 12 personnel to me could be big in this game because that could just help us run the football. And I really think that that's going to be a key in this game. And Lynn, you're not wrong about, I think Kentucky was looking ahead. But if you even look historically, Georgia has not covered the 5 of the last 6 times they've played Kentucky. Like they do not play Kentucky the same way they play everybody else. They have been expected to beat them handedly. They have not covered the spread 5 of the last 6 times. Kentucky just has their number. I don't know why, but they just do.
Especially when they play them at home, man. They play Georgia at home. They give Georgia all they want, man. Adam Lamparillo, the broski Adam, the $10 super chat. Maybe I'm wrong, but this game worries me. Georgia's defense is very tough, and if we don't get pressure on Beck, it could be like the Texas game. Well, I'll say this, Adam, and you're 1,000% right, man. Adam, thank you, Adam, for that $10 super chat, brother. Roll Tide to you, Adam. Appreciate you more than you know. You already know how I feel about you. Appreciate you. I mean, I think that's that's just it, Adam. You pretty much put it in a nutshell. We don't get pressure on Beck. Beck is he'll hurt us, man. I mean, that's the game within the game, right? I think we all are aware that is the game within the game, man. Because listen, remember this. Who is Georgia? Isn't Schumann Georgia's defensive coordinator? Glenn?
Schumann and T-Rob.
Yeah. Schumann and T-Rob. Listen, Schumann is known, brother, known for 5-man pressures. That's one thing. And just like I think it was Paul T. Paul T said it right here. Paul T said those boys are coming without the that is a great point, because what does 5-man pressure do? It creates one-on-ones with the front 6, right? What does 5-man pressure do? It make you go one-on-one unless you're chipping and adding resources to help out, right? But you're gonna have some one-on-ones in there, man. And our tackles, and especially our interior, is gonna have to play well because they run a lot of D-line stunts. You think you blocking this guy shoots somewhere else. Next thing you know, it's another guy coming from somewhere else. You got to be very, very accurate with these guys, man, and they're aggressive. Thank you, Adam, for that $10 super chat, man. Roll Tide to you, and much, much, much appreciated. Quasia says the home crowd will be an expert. You know what, Quasia? That's a good point, man. I get so tired of people talking about the crowd at Alabama is not loud again. Even Ebony. Ebony has been to Ohio State games. She's been to Cleveland Brown games. She's been everywhere, right? And I know our crowd, when Georgia comes and when LSU comes, they act a fool. So we need to lock the doors, lock the door tomorrow night. Lock the damn door. If you go home and you're not hoarse, you hadn't done your job, right? Lock the door, man. Make Bryant Denny a hostile environment to the max. Make Carson Beck have to work to get those signals in. And that's what we need to do, man. They really need to do. Um, is this Allen? Is that Coach Carr we got? Oh, hold on. Coach Carl in the heat of battle, showing love. Let me grab this super chat real quick, Coach Carl, and I'll get you on. Alan Berry, $5 super chat. Alan, thank you very much again. Adam, much love to you, Alan, man. I appreciate you, Alan Berry. The secondary is young. However, Georgia wide receivers have had trouble getting separation. I'm confident in the lines of scrimmage, the LOS as we called it. Alan, thank you so very much, brother. I appreciate you for your super chat, man. And I agree with you. Our secondary is young. Georgia wide receivers has had their issues at times. And it just makes for a great matchup, Alan. It makes for a great matchup, brother, and we're gonna see what happens. Thank you, Alan. I appreciate you as always. Coach Carl. Oh, my bad, Ty. Did you hit
Yeah,
something?
no, Adam hit you with the back to back. Just wanted to make sure
Oh,
you
is this
saw it,
Adam?
Coach.
Okay. Adam says also, since we beat Georgia in the SEC championship and kept them out of the playoff, they have a chip on their shoulder. They're going to bring their A game. Milrow needs to have his best game. Thank you, Adam, again for that $10 super chat, man. Roll tide to you, Adam. I appreciate you more than you know. And the thing about it, Adam, before I get Coach Carl on here, these guys are gonna bring their A game anyway. I already seen where they was trying to twist something Jalen said, even though that's not what he meant. They was trying to use that as motive. I mean, you know how it is in these kind of games, man. Every rival tries to say something and make it seem like somebody else said something, and you know how it go, man. But I do agree, Adam. You know, everybody, we're an underdog at home. That should be a motivation enough, right? You're smacking us in the face by saying we're an underdog at home, right? Coach Carl, let me get you in here really quickly. I want to get your input on this, man. Georgia is going to test Alabama on the perimeter. That's what they do. They run downhill on the perimeter. Are our DBs, are our rovers, Devontae Smith, Red Morgan, whoever the hell ever's out there, are they ready for the physicality of having to tackle, thump, back to back to back? Are we ready?
Well, we're gonna have to find out on the fly, right? I
Yes,
think
sir.
Devontae Smith is ready for the thump, but Keon Sabb, he seemed like he tough enough to come down and thump. But we're gonna
Ooh, for
learn.
real?
We're gonna learn tomorrow. Tomorrow night we're
Yeah,
gonna learn. I can't even. I can't even lie. Tomorrow night will be the test of the season. It's gonna tell
yeah.
you whether you're ready to go out there and put that work in, or they ready to
Fact.
get that fire. And if they come down in that box and they make those hard nose tackles that we believe that they can make, and we'll be fine. And if they don't make those tackles, then it's gonna be a long day. But the best part about all that is that we do have backups that can make those tackles inside those boxes, and then those guys, if we put them in long down and distance, we can always roll those guys back out there, put them in coverage situations, and we can rotate them in from the box to the coverage. So we doing good. It don't matter how we play it, but we think we still be okay, man. We should be okay. That's what I say.
Okay. I agree, coach. What you think about that, Ty? Are they ready?
I'm like him. We're gonna find out. I'm not as worried about the outside guys. And Coach Carl, I'm surprised you said you didn't know if Sab was ready to come down and smash. I think it was Deontay Lawson in the offseason was talking about Alabama DBs who just like had a reckless abandon when it came to hitting people, and they all said
Yeah.
Sab was just like on a mission to kill people anytime he got. They said he was probably the hardest hitter. He and D Lawson on the defense. So I've
No,
been
I said I
operating under the
think Sab
presumption.
is ready to come down and hit.
Oh, that's my fault then. I
Yeah,
thought
I
you said
think
he's
he
not.
is
Yeah, I
ready to
did
come
too. Yeah,
down
yeah.
and hit. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I
okay.
think
You
he is
scared
coming.
me.
I think he is ready to come down and hit. Now
I
I
thought he
didn't.
saw
I
something
think
on
him
film
and
and I was about to be
Devontae Smith
worried.
are. Yeah, I think him and
Facts.
Devontae Smith are ready to come down and hit. It's just
Yes, sir.
Red Morgan being a freshman, he more the one that you gonna kind of more lean into, because a freshman taking those type of impact for those big bruising backs and those pulling guards, that could
Hmm.
easily be a shoulder injury, a pull
Mm.
back, because man he young, he's not using that impact, so that's the type of thing worry about that side of it. Those freshmen, man, like Zay Mincy, those type, don't know ones we run about Xavier Brown, if they're gonna be physical enough to come downhill and take on that impact with them pulling and wrapping guards.
No, that's fair. That's 100% fair. And I've often wondered against a team like Georgia, what this will look like in terms of, we talked about this earlier, Coach Carl, about rolling coverage. That way you can have someone like Malachi in the box,
Yeah.
Sab over top. But if Georgia still had Humphreys, they would have a bit more of a threat in the passing game.
Yeah.
Earlier, Coach Carl was talking about, I think that they're going to try and get Lovett or Arian Smith in the slot to go head up against either Red Morgan or Devontae Smith, because that's the one area where we've been beat. If you're asking where we've been beat the most consistently from a secondary, it's slot, right? Zabian Brown has had two guys get past him, but really, and we talked about this earlier, one of them, Kane Womack, even came out and said, like, no, that was much more on us as a play calling staff than it was on Zabian. We didn't get the play call into him in time, and so we left him in no man's land. That's on me. But the other one, he did get beat. Truth asks, who's out for Bama? Well, right now, it's just a bunch of people probable. So I think everybody's ready to go for Bama in terms of Quay Russaw, Richard Young, Jeremiah Alexander. Whereas for Georgia, Roderick Robinson is out, London Humphreys is out, and possibly their best offensive lineman, Tate Ratledge, is out. They have some guys that are questionable, but I think those guys will end up playing. I do feel very strongly, Coach Carl, Coach Sean, that they are going to put Arian Smith and Dominic Lovett in the slot to try and capitalize on the speed advantage that they may have there.
I would. I definitely would.
I would, 100%.
Yeah.
Especially because we play single high. You go through the seam.
Facts. 100% facts on that. LaQuasia says Alabama football just released a hype video for the game, and the narrator is Najee Harris. Please go check that out, guys. I'm gonna go check it out as soon as we get done here. Ebony says yes about the fans need to step up and don't leave early. It looks really bad. It does, especially in a national championship game like this. Win or lose, man. Please don't leave early. Coach Carl. Last topic. I need to know. Everybody loves Ebony. Another Ebony. Both my Ebony's in here. Shout out to Double E. What's up with you guys, man? Good to see you. Prime Dog is in here. Ebony's in here. Good to see you guys so much. Listen, I want to know, Coach Carr, in your opinion, if Ryan Williams struggles, if they take Ryan, they roll coverage to Ryan, they do some things to take Ryan or make it difficult for him, right? Who steps up in that receiving core?
Kendra Law. This game here is going to be Kendra Law's game because that's what they're going to do. They're going to double team Ryan Wood. Ryan Williams is the biggest threat Alabama has right now at wide receiver. So they definitely going to double bracket Ryan Williams. They're going to put a one in the man on man and one on top of Ryan Williams. And they're going to make somebody else beat you. And the most posing threat we have outside with that speed and power is like a running back playing wide receiver is Kendra Law. Now you got to start focus on Kendra Law. That's going to open up for Kobe Prentice and all the other receivers, all the other quick hitch receivers out of the slot. So once you start doubling one and you let one get off, it's going to open it up for all the rest of them to get off. It's really not going to be that hard, man. I think all we really have to do is just let them focus on Ryan. Try to take Ryan away. And then let everybody else turn around and start doing what they do. They coming in there 4 and 5 star recruits anyway for a reason. You come to Alabama with a particular skill set. Utilize your skill set. And in my personal opinion, I think we probably will have one of the deepest receiver core in the nation. If they own their game and they go out there and just play team ball, I don't think nobody can compete with them. Especially when you got Jerry Bernard on one side. You still have, like I said, Kendra Long. You got Kobe Prentice. You got a bunch of young freshmen. Rico Scott is a monster when he want to be. So it's other guys out there that can make plays. And we still hadn't seen Kaden Olam yet. So it just depends, man, on what do you want to pick your pulse on. You still got 3 backs out of the backfield that can take those little short pop passes. We're going to be straight, man. I think it works in our benefit if they double cover Ryan Williams.
Facts. Ty, who steps up tomorrow?
I love the answer of Kendrick Law, but I'm going to go a different way. I think it's Jeremy Bernard, right? And the reason why I think it's Jeremy Bernard is because he is the only wide receiver on Alabama's team that has an extended history with Jamarcus Shepard and Kalen DeBoer with Nick Sheridan. He knows these guys. These guys know him. And we saw how dangerous he was on that post corner. Plus, he's a dog, right? Like, the one thing I love about Jeremy Bernard is if we think back to the first time we saw Jeremy Bernard, he caught that ball over the middle and Malachi just crashed out on him. And I mean, nailed him. Yeah. I mean, he hit him so hard. Even while I was like, hell yeah, part of me was like, damn, Malachi, this is a spring game. Don't kill him, right? Like
taking his teammate out.
Yeah, we need him this year. Yeah. He crushed him. Bernard hopped up instantly and was celebrating. Like, this is a dude that welcomes contact. And I think that mentality, that's going to be big. Plus, Coach Sean, what's your favorite route in the world?
Post corner.
Jeremy Bernard ran a post corner on someone I contend to be a top 5 corner in all of college football, Ricardo Hallman, and that was the beautiful touchdown he threw. Jalen Milroe did against Wisconsin. That was against Ricardo Hallman. Yeah. If you know, 7 interceptions last year, 2 or 3 pick sixes. He's a monster. Probably the most underappreciated defensive back in the nation, in my opinion, is Ricardo Hallman. I actually was really hoping that he would transfer to Alabama whenever Coach Hitchler came. That was the guy, in case you watched on the other channel, wherever I said there's a name out there that I have no inside knowledge of, but I just hope he hits the portal. It was Ricardo Hallman. Because in my mind, Damani Jackson and Ricardo Hallman, and then you let these young guys grow, oh boy, that's going to be a problem. But these young guys have really impressed. Listen, there's no wrong answer. Lynn says Henderson will be a factor. Henderson really impressed me in that look he got against Washington in terms of the willingness to run after the catch, the strength. I would love to see more Henderson. I think Coach Carl hit the nail on the head. This feels like a coming out party for a Kendrick Law or a Kobe Prentice. But the reason why I go Jeremy Bernard is there's not another player in the skill position on this offense outside of Cuevas that knows the staff like Jeremy Bernard, and that the staff knows like they know Jeremy Bernard. He knows exactly what's expected of him. He's been taught by Shepard for a few years. I think that shows out on Saturday.
All facts, man. I can't disagree with all. I think Kobe Prentice. I think Kobe. I don't think he's going to catch a lot of catches, but I think he's going to catch some key catches on third down. And Quaisha made a good point when she said LT Overton. I think John Marine Lathan is very good against the pass rush, but I think LT Overton is becoming a better, well-rounded person at the same position. Shout out to Lynn Shannonfeld, my brother Lynn, who always come through as well. $25 super chat. Lynn says, I expect to see Bama and to show me something that we have not seen all year.
I hope so.
We need this win, not to make our season. This game is all about the 90 recruits. I heard about that. I heard about those. There's a lot of recruits in the stands, damn near 100 of them, right? It's about those 90 recruits in the stands. I want them to walk away knowing nothing has changed. Nothing changes. Thank you, Lynn. We appreciate you, man. Much love and much respect to you. All facts. That's a fact, man. It's going to be a lot of recruits, man, there to see us, there to see Georgia. It's a lot of recruits that has come down to Bama and Georgia. So this is a very important game for that aspect. Finally, I want to really talk briefly about the coaches. Coach DeBoer, Kirby. It's a lot of Coach Saban talk going around. Pressures on Kirby. I hear a lot of these guys talking about pressures on Kirby. Is it Alabama beating him or is it Nick Saban beating him? I don't think Kirby gives a damn about that. I'm gonna be completely honest. It may have been in his head, and how can it not be? But if I don't think Kirby dwells on that kind of thing. I think Kirby wants to win this game because it'll show, if for nothing else, now we're king. Even though it's just one game, we could see these guys 2 more times possibly, right? I think this game it's a pride thing. It's a pride thing. Coach Saban's retired. If I win this game, Now it's about me. It's about Kirby Smart and the University of Georgia. So this game is a big, make no mistake about it. Even though we could possibly see these guys two more times, I think this game is huge. Ty, what do you think about that?
I 100% agree. And truth, I just said it, and it's on both of ours, coach. So that was me who replied. Truth asked, how fast is Hollywood? He ran the exact same 100-meter dash that Isaiah Bond did, but Isaiah Bond ran it as a senior in high school, or no, a junior. As a freshman or sophomore, Hollywood hit the same 100-meter Isaiah Bond did. And Isaiah Bond is listen, he could get speeding tickets on some college campuses running. He's that fast. So too is Hollywood. I agree with you, coach. I do think that there's more pressure on Georgia in this game, though.
I do.
And it's because, like, while I agree, they want to show, hey, we run this. If you don't beat Kalen DeBoer, now the narrative shifts from Nick Saban is your boogeyman to that script A is your boogeyman. And while I agree with you, I think that Kirby is one of the best at not caring about those things. The court of public opinion touches everything. No diddy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it reaches everywhere. That is something, right? Like, I just think there's a lot more pressure on Georgia in this game. But Lynn, you're 100% right. I want to I want Bama to win for all those recruits.
Facts. Coach Carl, do you think the pressure's on Georgia, and do you think Kirby wants to win this game just to show that I am the man now?
Yeah, the pressure is definitely on Georgia. Bama had nothing to lose, man. Pressure is on Kirby Smart. Kirby had to show that he can deliver, that he can beat Alabama without Nick Saban. Kirby has the best team in the country. Kirby has all the 5-star recruits. Everybody want to go to Georgia. So Kirby has everything going for Kirby. The pressure is definitely on Georgia. If Georgia don't beat Alabama, Georgia probably gonna start going downhill. And then most of the recruits and start looking at the fact with like, hey, we can go to Georgia and we can beat everybody except Alabama. And then that's gonna start looking bad on Kirby. So yeah, the pressure is definitely on Kirby. Caleb DeBoer has nothing to lose, man. He coming to a new situation and nobody expected him to beat Georgia anyway. And if he go out there and beat Georgia, hey, he shocks the world. Now he finally arrived because boom, he done beat Steve Sarkisian, he done beat Dan Lanning, and he done beat Kirby Smart. Now he's the talk of college football. So he now he gets in college football and then he makes his name for college football. He done finally put his mark on college football. Then now he become the target to deal with. But as of right now, the target is on Georgia. If Georgia comes in there and stinks up the joint and get beat by double digits by Alabama, I don't think Georgia recovers.
That's a hell of a point, Coach Carl.
I tell you this, we got to come in by Prime Time Dog. Shout out to Prime Time Dog too, man. Good to see you, Prime Time Dog. Hope y'all boys getting ready over there. Prime Time Dog says UGA will man up on Bama's receivers. Can Jalen throw underneath accurately and consistently? Bowling and Starks on the back end, no fly zone. I mean, that's true. That's true, Prime Time. But I'll hit you with one better on the flip side. That's actually a very good question. Here's what I'll hit you with too. Yes, Starks is very, very good on the back end, but I saw y'all in the run game, those same two, especially Bolden. They don't like to tackle. Alabama will stretch those safeties like nobody y'all played yet. Like nobody y'all played yet. You can take Ryan away, that's fine. Bama has the weapons to stretch those safeties and make them do their job. I guarantee you they'll come off that hash against Alabama. I guarantee you they will. They're going to have to. If not, post corner all day. Bolden, I saw him whiff on several tackles. Yeah, I know he's young, so I ain't gonna hold it against him. That's a young kid, right? He just still a puppy. He'll be fine. But running right at him, put him down in that box. We're gonna run right at him, brother. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be a chess match. It's gonna be a very, very good chess match, man. So,
could I add something to that, Coach?
Yeah, take your time, brother. Go right ahead.
Even because I love that, right? Like, this is the problem with this game, primetime. And this, what I'm about to say is not just like, oh, Bama good, Georgia bad. When I say this is the problem, I mean for both teams. I don't think either team can go too high safety in this game. Neither team has been able to adequately stop the run up to the standard that they have set for themselves. Georgia's run defense is not to the Georgia standard. Bama's run defense is not to the Bama standard. That's just 100, right? Like Coach I and I, Fanatic Sports, we talked about this. And I'm not saying that either run defense is bad. They're not. Like, objectively speaking, neither run defense is bad. But Georgia's run defense isn't up to Georgia's standard. Bama's run defense is not up to Bama's standard. So you can't go too high safety, because if you go too high safety, Bama will just look and go, oh, so you're giving us a light box, run, 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 run. And the difference between Bama and Georgia, and the reason why that is a bit of an advantage for Alabama, is because with the pin and pull plus their ability to either go 21 personnel or 12 personnel, they're just going to call QB runs and give Jalen 2 to 3 to 4 blockers in space, and they're just going to run. So one of those safeties is going to have to creep into the box, much like I expect Alabama. I don't think Alabama's going to be able to go too high safety against Georgia. Y'all are going to run it right off the edge on us, and I don't want Nate Frazier in space. So let's load the box, right? That's what makes this game so fascinating, is we're going to see more single high safety, I believe, because I just don't think either team has shown the ability to stop a high-powered rushing attack at the level to just go too high safety and say, okay, beat us at the trenches. I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
Coach Carl, give me your final thoughts on this game and what your prediction is.
Yeah, I see it the same way, man. I can tell you no lie. I'm with Ty on that. It will be single high safeties on both sides of the team. There's no lie. And the crazy part about that, here with Georgia hadn't showed me the fact that they can stop passing the game that well. Deep balls, yeah, they corners play deep ball pretty well, but they do a lot of grabbing and holding. Underneath, when linebackers not really playing that mesh route that well, like you can cross them up, and if you got enough speed coming in that mesh, Georgia's not playing that mesh fast enough for me. So with Ryan, Kendrick Law coming across the middle in that mesh, you can pretty much take advantage of Georgia. You can really, really take advantage of Georgia in that mesh route. Even with the tight end dump, like especially when in Wisconsin late in the game when they ran tight ends and down the seam, Georgia gonna give up that tight end seam because they're gonna be trying to double team and try to key on Ryan Williams a lot, and that tight end down the seam gonna be open. Running back side of the backfield, those wheel routes, those quick hit out of the backfield, those quick outs for the running backs. All those pass plays gonna be open because Georgia don't have those dynamic athletes at defensive line linebacker anymore. They have one linebacker that I don't see that can really play, but the rest of the other 2 or 3 that they rotate in and out, they just haven't been that strong this year like they have been in the past. Couple defensive linemen that's been stopped, but the edges hadn't been really ranking the bell for me like in the past. So they are a really good team, but I do believe that Georgia, with the skill set and then the cockiness that they've been playing with for the last 4 or 5 years, I think they really losing their edge as a team. So maybe they should just stand up a little bit, and if they get punched in the mouth, maybe they should see how they react. If Alabama comes in and punch them in the mouth and give them all that can handle.
Facts, Coach. I love it. Ty, give me your final facts on the game and your score prediction. Oh, give me your score prediction, Coach Carl.
I say Alabama 31-14.
Ooh, okay.
Boy, I'd be happy with that.
I would too. Go ahead, Ty.
I'll give you my score prediction first because I gave it earlier. I think 27-24. I think that there's a little bit of poetic justice and irony in that, right? What was the last time we played? What was the score? 27-24.
24, yeah.
I think it's going to be the same type of game. And I'll just be brief on this. Jalen has shown an ability this year to utilize his legs as an extension of the passing game, and that's new in his game. That wasn't the case last year. And I'm saying it's not that he didn't show it last year, but the awareness he's utilized this year is just on a different level than what we saw last year. which is why I've been so excited about his progression. And I know Prime Dog earlier, oh my God, Cam Ward just dropped a dime. I know Prime Dog earlier just said something about like the underneath. Jam Miller scored on an underneath throw last year
That's a
because
fact.
y'all were so worried about downfield. So guess what?
Facts.
Same thing can happen this year, especially when he's better in those areas. So if you want to take over the top, that's fine. Watch for Kendrick Law, Emmanuel Henderson, and Jam Miller, Justice Haynes to be underneath, ready to feast. And this is going to be a classic. That's my prediction. This is going to be a classic.
Which is
God,
you said
Cam Ward.
27-24, Ty?
Yeah, Cam Ward is balling, guys. That guy is so fun to watch play football. 27-24, though. I apologize.
Ooh,
I'm like a squirrel.
Shanisha say 45-20.
That'd make me very happy.
That'd
As
make
long
me
as you're
very
picking
happy.
in Bama's favor. If you're picking in Georgia's favor, that will make me very sad.
That'll make me very, very happy, man. Prime Dog says tight windows require Jalen to make those throws. Can he do it? That's a good question, Prime. I mean, I got to give you love on that one. But here's the thing.
Thanks,
Here's
fella.
my final thoughts. I'll go back to Lance Hunter's comment. Lance said, I've seen very little Georgia fan trash talk. Seems they're coming. I'll say this, piggybacking off what Lance said. It segues me into my final thoughts. My final thoughts is the Georgia fans have been very quiet this year compared to years past. Do you know why that is? Because they understand Bama has all the utensils to beat them Saturday again. Bama is going to stretch the field on this team the way they always try to. Bama is going to exploit certain matchups. You guys have a great young secondary in certain places, but they will be stressed against the receiving core and the offensive schematic that they are going to go against. Single high safety is what I pray you play us in. Why? And Ty can tell you what I called him last week, a week before last, ecstatic as hell because I've been calling for it for 3 weeks. The post corner is my favorite route of all time. Ty knows this. If you play us in single high safety, we're going to put your safety, even if it's Malachi, in a precarious situation, right? If the DB closes space on that post, right, we're going to run the post corner all night on you. If he does not close space, go ahead and throw the post, and we're going to eventually score anyway. I pray y'all put all those people in the box because that's how we beat you the last couple of times we played, right? And Jalen is more experienced now than he was in any of those previous games. What you give Jalen now, we have a competent offense to stress your defense like it has not been stressed all season. And here's a nugget for you, Prime. Go watch the Clemson game again. When Clemson flooded one side of the field, they had open receivers all night. Cade Klubnik was overthrowing people, underthrowing people, and getting sacked, all in the middle of everything.
That was a
right?
tough watch.
Yes, that was a tough watch. Don't think for 1 second that Clemson didn't have receivers open against you guys, right? With Jalen's legs, if you play him the way you play Cade Klubnik, Jalen gonna have 100 yards at halftime, right? This team in the University of Alabama will stress your defense like they have not been stressed all season. And the guys from Georgia who really know football know it. That's why it's been all quiet on the forefront. And this is the truth. Shout out to my brother Antoine. Antoine, where you been? Good to see you, brother. Roll Tide to my brother Antoine, man. Roll Tide to my brother Lynn.
Oh
I would not.
gosh.
What you got, Ty? What you got?
No, read Lynn's comment. It's just cracking me up.
Lynn says, if Bama scores 41, I will run on the field from the Ivory Club butt naked. Hey, Lynn, if they score 41 points, I'm going to fly to Tuscaloosa. I'm going to paddle bike to Tuscaloosa. I promise you. Straight down 565.
Damn.
You know what I mean? I promise you. We score 41 damn points, bro. I don't know what to say, bro. I don't know what to
Damn.
say about that. I'll be so excited. But look, I'm not gonna give no score prediction, Coach Carl, because the last time I did that, we lost to Tennessee, and I'm very superstitious when it comes to this. So
Not
no
just a
score
little
prediction.
stitious.
Not you should not even. I don't ever want that feeling again. You know what I'm saying? I'm extremely superstitious, Ty. But my score prediction is right along where Ty said. I don't think they're gonna go over 51 points together. I do not. And that's my score prediction. You know, I won't say who, but Bama will remind the world Saturday night. Make sure you put this. Bama will remind the world Saturday night of who the hell they are. People gonna remember You know what I'm saying? Shout out to
And
Darius.
we are
Darius says
king.
Bama Nation, show me where the best barbecue is.
Yeah,
Darius,
let's
come
give
on.
him some help.
Oh man, Dreamland, they got Full Moon, they got everything. Come on through, man. You can get you some good barbecue plates all around. The tailgate, probably. That's probably where you can get your best barbecue at, bro. Trust me.
Yeah,
Ty,
I was
what
coming
you
to the
got? What you
game.
got, Coach?
I sold my ticket, man. I ain't coming to that game.
Yeah, gone.
It turned to a political party, so it's gonna be
Yeah,
Secret Service everywhere, man. It's gonna be a cluster getting in and out of the game.
yeah.
Last time Secret Service in Tuscaloosa, man, it was 7 hours getting out of that place.
Ooh. Oh, they got caught in that 65 traffic.
Not
That,
just getting out of the city, but Secret
oh
Service
yeah.
in the city. You can't leave the city until Trump left the city. Man, it was rough,
Oh
man.
wow, man, that's crazy. Darius, come on through, brother. It's gonna be a good game. You
I
know,
think he
I
said he just landed in Bama.
yeah, in the Beham. Okay, you in the Beham. You down there where my boy Bow from. You know what I'm saying? You in the Beham. Be careful in the Beham, buddy. Stay out of
Facts,
Inslee. Trust me.
facts,
They got bullet holes in the stop signs over there. You know what I mean? Um,
facts.
Thank you guys, man, for tapping in, man. Love you guys to death, man. We appreciate you guys more than you know. Antoine, Adam, Goof, everybody, Goose up in here, man. OG Ephraim. Appreciate all of you, man. Thank you to Coach Carl. Thank you to my broski Ty. Tap in with Coach Carl. Really up and coming channel, man. Right with me together. Really got some good content on there. Really just now starting. Tap in with On the Block Sports, man. You cannot On the Block Sports Talk. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with my man Ty and Around the Table of Sports Talk. Round the Table Sports Talk. You can't go wrong with either one of them. Ty, you tell them. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, y'all can find me Monday evenings with Coach Sean, and whenever he's available, Coach Carl over at Around the Table Sports. Of course, that's where we will be Monday evening as we do our round table. Always Mondays and Fridays, guys, favorite time of the week because I get to do shows with you gentlemen when you're available, and it's gotten to be more of a family reunion than live streams. So you can catch me at Around the Table Sports. You can catch me on Bleacher Report. You can catch me on the Bama Standard. You can catch me anytime. And prime time, I will be on Bleacher Report for the post game. But if I'm off and Coach Sean is still going, I will hop over here and hop on the post game show. And listen, you already know how I am, prime time. We've interacted enough. I'll give you your flowers if y'all win. I won't have any qualm about it. We'll talk about what went wrong. If Georgia wins, we'll give you the flowers, all of that. So see you on that post game show, man.
Shout out to my brother D Fin. Shout out to Prime Dog. Prime Dog, before Coach Carl go, bro, I played this game all my life, coached it. You know what I mean? If we lose, we'll have a lot to talk about. You'll
Yeah.
never find me running ever. Tap in with me on the post game, man. Ty be on Bleach Report. Me and Coach Carl and them will be right here. A lot to talk about. We'll have fun with it, man. We'll have fun with it, man. Coach Carl, let everybody know where they can find you.
Oh yeah, man. You can find me on the Block Sport Talk on YouTube, or you can catch me on Twitter, X, as Coach KD Taylor. I be here with Coach Sean, and it's
Yep.
just my humble opinion. I tap in sometime with Ty over that Round Table Sport. And usually I be at school when Ty be on, so but when I do catch Ty, it's always a good thing, man. Like right now, you can catch me
Gotcha.
if you want to. You can come visit my high school team. We playing football on Friday nights, man, down here in Selma, Alabama. So come check us out, man. Got a lot of talented kids down here that we're trying to get recruited. But yeah, check out the channel. When I get back to Tuscaloosa in a couple of weeks, I post some pictures of me inside the stadium in Tuscaloosa. I used to do a few videos inside the stadium in Tuscaloosa.
Shout out to Coach Carr down there, at Selma, doing
Yeah.
big things for the youth, man. Shout out to them kids. Shout out to Selma High School doing their thing. Who shut down Derek Smith from Southside doing their thing. Love you, Coach Carr. Love you, Ty. You can definitely find me at Just My Humble Opinion on YouTube and Twitter, man. Just My Humble Opinion. Please tap in with me on Twitter. Please tap in with me on YouTube. Thank all of you for tapping in, man. Thank all of you for your super chats, man. Much love to you. We'll be back tomorrow, post game, probably about 10 o'clock, maybe 10, somewhere along in there. I'll post a link and we'll be right back in here. Shout out to Ty, shout out to Coach Carl, shout out to Jan 716, shout out to my brother Jake, wherever you are. Jake, set the tone, college football. Shout out to John, my brother John, who's in the chat. Bama Talk with John and Bama Nation and Pam. Shout out to On the Block with Coach Carl, Coach Smoot Network, man. Shout out to Coach Smoot Network and the AAA family, always doing big things. Shout out to my brother Brinsky and Sharpshooter Podcast. Shout out to Jason over there at Hall of Fame Sports, and shout out to Coach I over there at Fan Addict Sports, man. These guys are great. Tap in with them. You know, they got great channels. You can't miss it. John right there. Tap in with these guys. Trying to get my brother Coach Al up in here. We get Coach Al on set. That's just another great mind. Somebody who I pitch notes to all the time. Me and Coach Al, man, we can't get enough of talking football. Kind of to get Coach Al set up so we can get Coach Al on here, man. That's a plus added to the team. Shout out to you all. Have a great night. Tap in tomorrow. If you go into the game, scream your damn heads off. We're going to put belt the ass on Georgia, and that's just the bottom line. Dr. Strange hitting us with a late $2 super chat.
Good question,
Appreciate you. What did Doctor say? Doctor said, which team is more capable of overcoming adversity?
That's a really good question.
I'll say this, Dr. Strange. I would say Georgia, probably, because they face more adversity than we have against better competition. We really hadn't faced no adversity but South Florida, really and truly. Really, I mean, if you want to call that adversity, you know what I mean? We put belt the ass as soon as we put it Pritchard in. Georgia, they almost lost to Kentucky on the road at Kentucky, you know. And then truly, if you want to be technical, until about the fourth quarter, third quarter, that Clemson game could have went either way. So I would say they probably has faced more adversity just based off the fact they play better competition. What say you guys, Ty and Coach Carl?
Can't disagree with that. I am sorry. The Virginia Tech running back just trucked the shit out of someone for a 45-yard touchdown. And now we have a tie ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Virginia Tech, if they make this kick, 14-14 against Miami. I sent you, Coach Sean, the throw that I was saying earlier where I was like, oh my gosh, Cam Ward is balling. I sent you that throw. Check that out. Unbelievable. But no, I agree with you. Even when Bama played USF, there was this feeling that, like, once they figure out this offensive line situation, they're going to roll.
Yeah.
And they did. Once they got Pritchard in, boom, 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 boom. I mean, they just killed it. And once the offense started going, all the pressure was off the defense, and then the defense started killing them. Thanks. Georgia had a fight. I mean, like, 2 minutes down in that game, left on the clock, and you're still like, this is anybody's game.
Yep. From hook to crook. Facts.
And continuity helps when overcoming adversity. So I think both teams are highly capable of it, but Georgia has just been in a different kind of fight this year, and they have the continuity. Love that question, though.
Good question. What you think? What say you, Coach Carl?
Yeah, I say Georgia too, man. I'm like Ty, man. Georgia was in a tough spot, man. Yeah, I still say to this day, Georgia should have lost to Kentucky. If you got Georgia with the ball in your hand, 3 minutes left in the game, 4th down and 3, I ain't punting that ball.
Never.
I'm not punting that ball. I'm going for it. 4th and 3 at home with that crowd, I'm going for that.
If you trust your defense enough to punt it, trust your defense enough to stop them if you don't get it.
That's right.
Facts.
You go for it. You go for it. Win, lose, or draw, you go for it. So I'm just like that. So Georgia faced more adversity than Alabama, but I think Alabama, with that never say die mentality, everybody count them out anyway. I think that mentality will overshadow Georgia with that adversity mentality.
Yeah. All facts, man. Thank you, Dr. Strange. We appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much. Much love to Shanisa. You know what I mean? Much love for you tapping in. We appreciate all of you. And we'll see tomorrow, guys. Roll Tide to you all. Much love to all the different fan bases. Much love to all my brothers, as I said. Tap in with them. And finally, before we get out of here, I'm going to introduce you to our last friend, as Ty calls him, the SWD, the spinning wheel. Oh, Eric D. What's up, bro? I ain't even see you. Shout out to Eric D, man. Shout out to my broski right there. What it do, Eric D? Thank you, Coach Carl, for tapping in. Coach Carl at the game. We really appreciate you, Coach. Ty, I know you've been putting in work, man, and tapped in. Thank you, guys. Love y'all guys to death, and I appreciate you all, man. Much love until tomorrow. Roll Tide. We putting belt
Roll
to ass
Tide, baby.
tomorrow. Period. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. And how often do you see me in the Bama gear? Come on now.